that was my first job. It was completely BPO sector. It was in 2007 that I started working when I was still pursuing my second year graduation. And I had an opportunity to, transition to a part-time role whenever I had exams. And yeah, just to let you know that it was a full-time education that I was pursuing while doing the job. So it was a BPO sector. Initially, I joined there as a process associate, and then eventually I was promoted to process developer. Hand in hand, I also had an opportunity to work as an HR representative. So after serving in Genpact for about 6 years, I moved on to Deloitte, where I was hired as an analyst. That was also a non-technical field. It was a non-technical domain, basically.
Okay, and what was your job role there in Deloitte, and how long you worked there?
I worked in Deloitte for about 9 years, Jitendra, and the job role was an analyst. Basically, it was a support role. The domain that we worked for was enabling areas, and then it was more of like assisting all the stakeholders and the US and USI users of Deloitte with their video enabled as well as Zoom meetings, and working hand in hand with the entire team in Deloitte, and then also, reporting to the leadership for the status of the work that we used to do.
All right, and altogether, what you work in Deloitte 9 years, and before that, Genpact. It has nothing to do with software development, nothing with IT, just like support
Absolutely
and
not.
stuff. Okay.
Correct.
All right. So being working in around the 13, 14-year experience, right? Altogether in BPO and other process work. So how come this thought came in mind that, hey, now let's go to the IT?
Hmm. Hmm. Basically, I would like to, just demonstrate a little bit of my experience before I entered the IT industry as a Scrum Master. Basically, if I see, 15 years was a long time spending in almost, support kind of a role. I'm sure anybody would look like for a little bit of change and a challenge in the role. So if I would talk about my experience in to the life I was having before entering into IT, it was marked by a growing sense of monotony in the ending of the, around 13, 14 year of my career. And then it was a little bit of disinterest in my non-IT career path. Then, there was a point, at a certain point, I started facing health related challenges, which added to my decision making dilemma as well. Feeling overwhelmed and unsure of my career direction, I contemplated quitting my job without a clear plan about the further approach or further direction in my career. And also, the thought of taking a break and spending more time with my family seemed like it was an appealing decision for me. However, fate had different ideas in store, and little did I know that an exciting and fulfilling journey as a Scrum Master in the IT field awaited me.
Good, good. So I think, as you said, you left the job without having any plan further. So when you left the job, your Deloitte,
2022.
around June or so?
It was July.
July, okay. So July, you quit the job, then you, as you said, just to spend some time with the family, whatever you have some backlog, okay, to just take care of everything.
Yeah.
And then there was a time that, okay, now it's done. Let's move on in the career.
Hmm.
So you must have so many options, so many thought that, okay, to do this, to do that. Why you chose to Scrum Master?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question, Jitendra. And the decision to transition into IT was obviously sparked by attending your 3-day training program, which again, which kind of took me back into my passion for exploring new career possibilities. Although I had doubts about my ability to succeed in this unfamiliar territory, I still took a leap of faith, and that single step towards this path opened doors to the remarkable position I'm holding. I now hold as a Scrum Master. And not to stress this enough, but it has been a transformative journey that has led me to where I stand today with gratitude and pride.
Great, thanks. So July last year, you left the job. Then again, you took some time. I think February, you started this journey with me, right?
Hmm. Yes.
So in between, you tried some other opportunities as well, like to explore some, okay, let's do some other thing, maybe QA, some
Mhm.
project management, PMP, something like that, or directly it was just Scrum Master.
It was a Scrum Master that I was looking to pursue into. So honestly, until I came across, the message from your end, I was not even thinking that I will continue in my career further, because I completely thought, this is my time that I want to be with my family, and I'm just not taking any further decision at this point in time. But then when I saw your messages, I just went through those scroll posts, and then it kind of gave me an opportunity to look into what is this kind of a role. And then that that actually made me begin my career again.
Okay, all right. So you said you saw, so you must have seen our ads maybe on the Facebook or Instagram. You have
Hmm.
built your data, and then you were in the webinar.
Hmm.
You did the 3 days webinar, and further have to take a decision. Okay, I have to be in, or whatever you made decision, have to go with that.
Hmm.
So making a career decision, especially career change. So in your case, I would say it's a double. First one is that you have worked already 14 years in some different field. Then you left the, I have to spend time with the family.
Hmm.
And with that, okay, now I have to move in IT. So first of all, it's not an easy decision for anyone, especially having experience in some different field. So how was that time, that thought process? Will I able to make it? Is it something really possible? I have not done any software development, no coding, altogether experience in different field. Is it something for me? So all that question comes. So what was your scenario? What was your case in that time?
Yeah. So, Jitendra, to answer that question, I definitely would say transitioning into a different career track, especially from a non-IT background to the IT industry, is undoubtedly a challenging task. It's a challenging decision one could take. It requires stepping out of one's comfort zone and embracing the unknown, basically. Also, the thought process behind the significant shift likely involved a lot of uncertainty, excitement, and strong belief or desire for personal and professional growth. I also feel that it takes courage to venture into a new domain, yet the potential rewards and the opportunities for learning and development definitely are often worth the initial hesitation.
Right. Okay. Good, good, good. So then finally you made the decision, you started the training. There
Mhm.
must be one when you're in the first class, not the demo, when you enroll, paid the fee, because again you have to pay the fee, started. So within first week, second week, how was the confident? Like, although you started the journey, were you confident that, hey, whatever happens, I'm going to make it? Or it
Mhm.
was just, okay, let's try, see how it works.
So, when I first started the training, I must admit I lacked confidence in my abilities to make it in the IT.
Mhm.
However, as we progress through the training, witnessing your expertise and guidance into this field, my doubts gradually faded away. And then I began to gain assurance that I was in the hands of the right coach, and this newfound belief in myself played a significant role in building the foundation for my successful journey as a Scrum Master.
Great. Okay. So you started training, I think, first week of February, right?
Correct.
And
Yes.
February last or maybe March first week, something we ended up your batch.
Hmm.
And you got your offer letter in month of May, correct?
Correct.
May last week.
Yes.
So
That's right.
March, April, May, 3 months it took. So before you got your first offer letter, how many interview you have given?
So throughout my journey as a Scrum Master aspirant, I faced a total of 5 interviews,
Mhm.
and basically each interview provided valuable learning experiences and insights into the industry's expectations. While
Mhm.
I feel it may have been challenging at times to face multiple interviews for the role, I remain persistent and determined, to showcase my skills and passion for it. Also, it was the fifth interview when I finally received the offer, and the moment was truly rewarding, if I must say that.
Right.
This total process reinforced the importance of continuous self improvement and reminding me that every interview is an opportunity for uh, it's an opportunity for growth and an eventual step towards achieving our career goals.
All right. So fifth interview and 3 months of time it took to get the result what you wanted.
Mhm.
March first week you started your like giving interview planning CV everything. So when was your first interview? How much time it took when you got that opportunity?
So first interview was somewhere in the end of Feb, if I remember correctly, and but to say it was a complete disaster because whatever, I did not know any Jira basically at that time. I went through multiple rounds of interview uh, because I don't know, I was able to only deliver what I could learn from the training. I did not take any Jira training from your end. So that is what I completely lacked actually when they asked me those Jira related questions. So first interview was during the end of February, and then eventually it started. There was also a break in between. The break was
Yeah.
because, there were
Let's
some
go
changes
one step
required.
back. So you gave the first interview in the month of February. February you
Mhm.
started the training and February month itself. So
Yeah.
the training was completed or it was going on, I believe. In between only you started giving interview.
Yeah. So as soon as we completed your training towards the end of Feb, I gave my first interview.
So now, first interview, that
Mhm.
too of a different job role altogether, nothing to do with your 14 year of work experience. So how was the experience before going in the interview?
I was honestly, it was little mixed feelings, I could say, because something that, I think was needed from my end was the capability to be performing well in the IT interview. So if I talk about the challenges, basically, that is one of the major hurdles was grasping and familiarizing myself with the technical jargon. And to
Mhm.
overcome this, I dedicated some time to practice and then honing communication skills, memorizing essential terminology. Uh, and also, as we progressed in the interviews, it was a different experience altogether. But the first one was definitely not easy. I was kind of stammering as well in between. And then, though they knew that, I'm an aspiring Scrum Master, they wanted to give me multiple chances. That was very kind on their part. But then I could not clear that interview even after having 4 to 5 levels.
All right. So why I asked this specific question? The reason is so many people start this journey. They think
Mm-hmm,
for I have to make a career change, and it's for everyone here.
mm-hmm,
So your journey, training is the one part, and the next step is what giving the interview.
mm-hmm,
As early someone start, it's better. And I
mm-hmm.
know there are so many people who complete the course and then okay, let me do prepare, and preparation has no any end. You
Right.
keep on doing, and maybe after 2 months also you'll not feel confident. The real confidence comes only when you start giving the interview. You are prepared, not prepared, doesn't matter. Go in the war. They will shoot questions you have to answer. Not able to answer again. Now you know the reality. And that's why I always make this point. Your actual preparation starts the day you give your first interview.
Mm-hmm,
Before that, whatever you are doing, it is just a kind of preparation, just something working on yourself. Next, first interview in Feb and offer letter in May, 3 months.
mm-hmm.
You said only 5 interview give.
Yes.
So in between, there was a time, maybe 15 days, 20 days, 1 month also. Maybe you're getting calls, not getting calls. Getting calls was interview is not scheduled, right? So how was that time that, okay, what is happening? Will I able to make it or not? Am I doing right thing? What is wrong with me? So many questions come in the mind, right?
Correct.
Certain scenario, I have seen people quit on that time also. Looks like
Mm-hmm.
something not happening. Maybe my CV is not good. Maybe I'm a different background, right? So what was your mindset on that time?
Absolutely. I had a complete phase of more than a month or so that I
Mhm.
did not have any interview calls. I was under the impression maybe it's going to be obviously, it was not the end of the world for me, but then I was a little disappointed because other people who I was coordinating with, who I was in constantly touch with, were somehow getting the calls, which I was absolutely not, getting. But then, after approaching you multiple times, after making several changes to the CV, I started getting n number of calls. If I have to, I still remember that day, May 15th was the day when I received the highest number of interview calls. And then when I started this particular interview with the work organization that I'm currently working, it was just within a week that everything was closed. Within a week, I had all the rounds and the offer released.
All right, good. So, as you said, fifth interview you gave. So,
Mhm,
how much was a maximum difference between, let's say, you gave one first interview
mhm.
in month of February last week. So there must be a time, maybe 1 month, 15 days. So how much was the maximum gap between two interview?
First interview was somewhere in the end of Feb, if I remember correctly. The second was only after in the mid of March somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also after the second interview, it was kind of a significant turning point in my journey because I realized that while I had been seeking feedback, making efforts, and it felt like I still needed to make my to take my preparation to the next level. Because the kind of feedback I received from that interview, it made me aware of the areas where I needed to improve and get more serious about my approach. It was, I could say it was a valuable wake up call because that motivated me to put in extra effort and focus on honing my skills and knowledge. Also, from that moment onward, I began to approach each interview with a newfound sense of determination and confidence, knowing that I could continuously improve and demonstrate my capabilities as a potential Scrum Master. So, the commitment to growth and learning ultimately played a crucial role in securing the offer.
All right, great.
Yeah. So
So
basically, I could say the second interview was a complete turning point in the entire journey of a job search.
okay, great. And being from a non-technical background, nothing to do with IT, software, right, development, you have never interacted with this kind of people.
Mhm.
So what challenge you faced during this journey? So started Feb first week training, Feb last week first interview, right? Until you got the offer letter. What kind of challenges you faced in this journey?
Definitely, Jitendra, transition from a non-technical background into the IT industry, it did present several challenges for me. One of the major hurdles, as I said earlier, was to grasp and familiarize myself with the technical jargon.
Mhm.
But to overcome this, I took some steps like I dedicated time to practice in front of mirror. I literally did that, honing my communication skills and memorizing the essential terminology as well. Additionally, what I felt was the scenario based questions required more detail and thoughtful answers, which actually demanded thorough preparation and a deep understanding of the subject matter. Moreover, if I, considering my non-technical background, it was not easy. It was the most critical challenge I said that I could face, in the IT interviews. Facing the IT interview with confidence was one of the most critical challenges I faced also. And then the one thing that I could say here is we just have to persevere and work diligently to build the knowledge and expertise when we're giving any interviews, especially coming from a non-technical background.
All right. Okay. So now, like Feb first week, Feb last week, first interview, fifth interview, and how many rounds happened in that company? What you're working right now?
We had close to 3 rounds. First was completely a Scrum Master round that was completely based on the Scrum Master questions that we had. The second was a totally Scrum based, scenario based questions. And the last one was the HR round. And
HR.
then the offer was rolled out.
All right. So first round done,
Mhm.
second round done. Then HR must have called you. Okay, you are selected. Send me the documents and all, and then we'll okay. And how much time it took once they said the HR that you are confirmed and rolling out the offer letter?
So I just one day, actually, they waited for the information for me from my side,
Okay.
which did not take a lot of time. They needed all the documents, for the background check and everything. So as soon as I provided, they immediately scheduled the call next day, and they closed the offer.
All right, superb. So how was the experience? Like 4 months of journey, 1 month of training, 3 months of the preparation, right?
Mhm, mhm.
Lots of ups and down, getting calls, not getting the calls, disaster interview, insightful interview, and finally you got one email. Congratulations, you are selected. How was the once you received that email?
Absolutely. I was like, more than me, I would say my family was happy because they were so tired looking at me because I had been working for 15 years and suddenly I'm at home. Everybody is having a different expectation. So I was happy genuinely, but then my family had a different kind of expectation because they did not expect me to just jump from somewhere to somewhere else. That
Mhm.
was a significant jump that I made. Even if I see the package wise also was a very significant jump that I could make. So It was truly rewarding, Jitendra. I was more than happy, and I could not, describe this enough on this call. But yes, I could not be enough grateful to you for providing these guidance and these steps towards the career change, career transformation.
Right. So now, again, kind of similar question. So 4 month overall, 1 month training, 3 month of your own preparation, and you got joining letter, you got offer letter, everything. So does this
Mhm.
what? This preparation, this anxiety, this kind of hard work, again being in dilemma, does that effort worth what you got here?
Absolutely, absolutely. I had a few days of time before joining the organization. So, after consulting with you, I was just giving more and more interviews just to, get that confidence that I will be able to get, be able to perform on the job. And I was just trying, as you said, as you guided, just try to see if we can get a better offer. But there was just a week of time that I utilized as per your suggestion, where I kind of gave two more interviews, which I can say that were not up to the mark, but I learned a new thing from there again. It had a completely different kind of experience. What they were expecting was entirely different. So even giving more and more interviews, even after getting the offer, will also help us know what is actually happening in the industry and what kind of expectation the recruiters have from us.
All right. So now, I think May. Okay. So when you joined, June second week or first week?
June, yeah, it was almost June 1st week ending.
Okay. So it's now almost been 1 month, right? So
Yes,
how is
yes.
this journey? Like before getting in the
Mhm,
job, it's a different thing.
mhm,
Preparation, 100% focus on the interview. Now you are in the job.
mhm.
So how is the experience right now? What's going on your job front?
I can now say confidently that it's a whole new world filled with completely unique challenges, and also the pace of life in IT is undoubtedly faster. That is for sure. There is abundant learning opportunities that pave the way for the significant career growth and also enticing perks. We all know that we get huge salaries in IT. There is the amount of hard work, plus we also get equally paid for that. Also, the journey in IT, what I feel is it's a continuous learning process because we encounter new information and we progress in our roles. So it's a continuous learning process. Although this is just the beginning, but I can already feel the excitement and the possibilities that lie ahead in this dynamic field. And I look forward to embracing the ongoing journey of growth and success. That is
All
for sure.
right, good. So first of all, thanks again for giving this insight. Now, last question from my side. Like we have
Mhm,
already so many of aspiring Scrum Master, most
mhm,
of them from a different background, someone from sales, from marketing, someone in maybe not working right now. What is your suggestion that
mhm.
what they should do, like so that they can get this journey faster?
So if I have to talk about my transition that was done after a few months successfully, I believe that getting a job in this in IT industry, especially coming from a non-technical background, may require a minimum of 3 months or even longer. But it is essential to allocate relevant enough time for preparation and learning technical skills, gaining relevant certifications as well. However, if I go through the job search process as such, it can be influenced by luck to some extent because I've seen some individuals securing job in sooner than anticipated in
Mhm.
very less time. That is even less than 3 months. And then also, I feel the key to success lies in dedicating around 80% effort towards continuous learning and skill development for sure, while staying motivated and still, persevering throughout the journey. I feel that maintaining high levels of motivation is crucial because it keeps us focused on our goal and also propels us towards achieving our goals.
All right. So as you rightly
For
said,
the
yep, go on.
Yeah, so the only suggestion that I have for the aspiring Scrum Masters right now is to have confidence in your abilities, believe in the training process provided our experts like Jitendra, engage fully in the training, just invest your time and effort wholeheartedly, and trust that the learning and guidance will actually equip you with the necessary skills and knowledge. Also, while the journey may have its own challenges, maintaining a positive mindset and a dedication will propel you forward, opening doors for doors to success in this dynamic field of Scrum Master. Also, we can remember, that the commitment and belief in ourselves will be the key to overcoming obstacles and achieving our goals.
Super. So as you rightly said, it's all about individual's commitment. How much? So I have started this journey and
Mhm.
I have to finish it. That is what it matters. And
Absolutely.
also, as you mentioned, being motivated, because it's not like, okay, you start this journey. So career transition, it's not just like a one-day job, it's a journey. So
Mhm.
unless anyone is not enjoying this journey, yes, it's going to be a lot of things here and there, but finally it's a mindset that yes, I have to make this possible. Interviews are happening, sometime not happening, sometime getting call, I'm not getting the call. I gave interview, it was a disaster. That's all part of the journey. But ultimately, you have to be with the right mindset. Whatever comes, I have to sell through, and definitely you will be. Okay.
That is very true.
So yes, so that's all from my side. Now it's a open house for everyone. Anyone having any question, you can post your question in the Q&A session here. Okay, and then we'll take your questions here. Okay, 1 second, let me check. Or anyone want to, again, if you want to ask, you can raise your hand as well. Okay. All right. So Sugandha has mentioned, okay. Please say your name of your current organization. Sugandha, unfortunately, we do not do that. The current company and the current package. This is something what we do not share in this webinar. Okay. But yes, definitely it's a big MNC. And yes, so that's what I can say right now. Okay, next. Okay, I can see a couple of people have raised hand. Sasi, okay, Sasi, you can speak now.
Okay, hi, good evening, all.
Hey,
Just one
Shashi.
second. Yeah, hi. So I joined late, but I heard about that you have left the job in Deloitte, and then you have started your career as a Scrum Master.
Yeah.
So I heard all those things. My question is, in Deloitte, what was your profile? I just wanted to know. And another question, at this moment, the role which you are performing
Mhm.
is what kind of, like in IT, there are various domains. So in which domain you are working? I just wanted to know that thing.
Sure, Shashi. I'd be happy to answer that. So when I was working with Deloitte, it was into enabling areas domain. Basically, the function was called as enabling areas. The role was analyst, but it was completely support role where we used to assist the internal and that is basically the US and USI customers and users of Deloitte meetings, like video conferencing and Zoom related meetings. Apart from that, we used to also communicate and coordinate with the stakeholder information, working closely with the leadership to provide them the reporting that they needed for the meetings that used to happen across the Deloitte as a whole. And coming to the next part of the question, I'm currently into a healthcare domain. I have absolutely no experience in healthcare domain earlier. This is also something which is new to me. And then it is a complete, it's a software company. It's an IT software company, and uh, I think I've answered your question. It's a healthcare domain, basically. If you have any other thing, I can clarify that as well.
Mm. I got it. Thank you. Thank you so
Yeah,
much,
yeah.
Sam.
Okay. So next I have question from, okay, from Nikhil. From where you learned Scrum, from Skill Yantra only? So definitely yes, Nikhil. Okay. Next I can see Snehal. At least tell us your package, like 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 15 lakh. So Snehal, just again, can't reveal the number, but yes, whatever you have mentioned, definitely it's more than that. Okay. And next I have question, okay. What are your applications that you work on daily basis, job location? Okay, so is it work from home or work from office? It's a question from Naveen.
It's a hybrid mode currently. We are asked to come to office at least 2 days in a week, but
Mhm.
If we can, if we cannot make it due to any reason, that's still fine. But the expectation is to have to be in the office at least 2 days in a week. So it's a hybrid mode of working.
All right. And next, Avinash want to speak. Avinash, you can, okay, you can just unmute yourself.
Hi everyone. Congratulations, Hinal.
Thank you,
I'm very much
Abhinash.
happy to see you again.
Same
So I
here.
would
Nice
like
speaking to
to
you.
ask you that how much experience I should apply for the role of Scrum Master. And second thing, whatever while we are giving the interview, and which points we should make it mind, means we should note it mind in mind that we'll have to answer like this one.
So, Abhinash, the approach is completely an individual based approach. It totally depends on, so there is no right and wrong answer, but what you are answering should be related to the actual, if, suppose if they're asking you how do you determine the velocity? If the team is not performing, what could be the reasons behind it? How would you assess the team? On what basis would you assess the performance? So there is no set right and wrong answer here. It's depending upon what you have learned and what you're trying to portray it in your own way. But what we have learned is, generally the average velocity of the number of sprints calculated by the story points is how we determine the velocity. So that should be there. The part that should cover what we have learned, but the ideal way of answering is totally up to you. It's just that the interviewer, the recruiter who is speaking to you should like the answer, is what I have understood.
Okay. So whatever we are giving the interview, first question, introduce yourself. Coming to our introduction in the part of responsibility, what we have already told to the interviewer. After joining, will you have to do the same or anything changes?
No, there is, as much as I know, it is not fixed to what is being communicated to you. And we also have to be flexible on whatever comes our way.
So Avinash,
Okay.
it depends on company to company. Every company has a different way of working, right? So, and different need could be based on the project to project also. So multiple variables. Okay.
Okay, thanks. Thank
Right.
you.
Okay, next we have Diganta. Diganta, you can unmute yourself.
uh, which is a good certification, CSM or PSM, and which will have a edge for a good organization for Scrum Master.
So Diganta, I will take this question. So it doesn't matter both. See, for the Scrum Master, there are various certifications. Okay, I would say more than 20, 30, 50. But yes, CSM and PSM are something I would say equally valuable. Anyone you can go for, any organization you go, it is equally valuable. It's totally up to you which one you are preferring, but both are equally weighted.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So I can see some more questions here in the Q&A. Okay. What is the most common question in all the interview, and do they ask technical type question or situation based question? So what is the most common question? So Santosh, I think you already have the list of all the questions what will be asked, but yes, this part you can answer, Hinal. Do they ask technical type or question or situation based question?
I think technical, if you're talking about, something about metrics, yes, they do ask metrics. And if there is something that has to be derived, like I said earlier to Abhinash, like if they might ask you the formula of velocity as well, how do we derive the velocity for any sprint, that could be asked. There could be technical questions related to Scrum, and there could be a scenario based as well. So what I personally went through was completely Scrum related questions in the first round. And this is with respect to the organization I've joined. I'm talking about that. First round, I had entirely Scrum related questions. And the second one was scenario based totally. So
All right.
as we go to the levels, the complexity of the questions might also vary.
All right. So again, just to add on Santosh on this question, when you're saying technical type, and Hinal said it will be asked, it doesn't mean that, okay, based on the Java, PHP or .NET, what she also mentioned maybe about the velocity, how you calculate, what is velocity of your team and so. In Scrum Master interview, 95% of the time, it will not be technical on the programming language or something. So that is what you can be assured of, nothing to worry about.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Amit has a question. How difficult it was to convince interviewer that you have a past experience of Scrum, working as a Scrum Master? Yes, good question. So definitely someone who has not worked as a Scrum Master, but you're portraying, hey, I have experience of 3 year or XYZ year. So again, I will just add one more question. How much experience you shown that I have XYZ number of experience? And then you can answer this question.
So it was 3 years that I had shown, and I learned eventually, I learned it eventually over my previous interview experiences. It was there was a point where I also had to go to the organization and face the stakeholder who took my interview. Honestly, so it was a face-to-face interview which I completely failed. But then I learned from it, and then I actually applied. What was the drawback and where I had to improve.
All right. So I think, Amit, that answered your question. How difficult it was to convince interview, just a matter of practice. So whatever practice you do, preparation you do, in general, first interview, it's going to be disaster. It's like, but you may not have done the speaking practice. So that's why it goes here and there. But it just matter of 2, 3 more interview. At least you'll be comfortable. You will be that, okay, fine, I'm doing good. And my experience, it takes 5 interview. And the same thing what Hinal said, 5 interviews, he got the offer letter. For her, it took 3 months. I know someone takes 6 months also to just give this 5 interview. Someone may do it in 1 month also, 2 months also. So it's all about how frequently you are giving interview, how much you are trying, that what it will give you the confidence. Okay. Next, their question is, have you joined as a fresher? So I think it is answered already. No, Dev. Okay, next I can see Sudhanshu has raised the hand. Sudhanshu, you can speak, unmute yourself.
Hi, Jitu sir. How are you?
Doing great, thank you.
Hi, Hinal. Hi.
Hi, Sudhanshu.
Right. So the question that I had for you was, right. So you joined in as a fresher, right? As in someone who's not gotten or does not have Scrum Master experience, correct?
Joined as a fresher, not exactly.
As a Scrum Master.
That answer is no, Sudhanshu. So in
Okay.
the way you are on the same journey, C also has done.
Oh, okay, great. So how was your first week like? How was your initially first 2 days, first 3 days? Adapting to the new situation, adapting to the new environment, right? What were the kind of expectations from you, from the leaders or from the managers? What kind of expectation settings did they have with you?
That's a very good question, Sudhanshu. I'm sure whoever is getting the offer will have to face this kind of an experience. But initially, the approach that I followed when I joined the organization was to go ahead. I just went with the flow. I completed the mandatory trainings that were required. And
Hmm.
although, I was new to the healthcare domain and the terminologies used there, I was making an attempt to join each and every call, because these are the initial days when we are not actually assigned any work. And our project is a completely pilot project, which means it's new to the organization. It's a
Okay.
completely high revenue generating.
All
So
right.
most of the team is also new. We are all learning, and we are all sailing through the project work. We are just so currently, if I talk to you about the uh, how I learned through it. Yeah, I attended each and every call. Initially, I was not speaking. I was not participating much, because I was not knowing what is, those terms that were used in the call. But I did not stop listening to the calls actively, and eventually started getting some knowledge, and then I started pitching in. So we will have a few sprints that we ourselves will realize that we need to improve. So that's how the learning will happen as you
Hmm.
progress.
Right. The rationale behind me asking this question is because when you join an organization which expects you to be experienced, right? They expect you to start from the very first day,
Right.
right? That you should start contributing to. So because you were coming into a new domain altogether, right? How did that exactly why I asked you that question is how did you adapt, right? Did you first just observe? Did you set the rest? Did you just set the expectation with your senior saying that I will observe, then I will participate, and then I will do whatever is required. So I guess that's exactly what I wanted to know.
Yeah, and because it's a new project, there was no KT initially, so we had to just, go with the flow
Start
because,
from
as I
scratch.
said,
Yeah,
most of
yeah,
the team
yeah.
members are also new.
Got it. Got it. Great, great, great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. That answers my question.
And
Thank you.
Sudhanshu, to add on this, I would say it happens. So how much you prepare in advance, okay, you land up in a project, there may be a different scenario. So it's
Mhm.
like a rocket science. You do not have experience as a Scrum Master, but you have done something in the past, right? You
Correct.
know the people. So by default, it will happen. Okay, so it's a journey.
Yes, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for this.
All right. So next I can see in the chat box. Okay. Dharmateja has a question. It's a night shift or day shift. So I believe it's a day shift only, right? Hinal?
Yeah, it
What?
is. Yeah.
Okay. Then Prabhakar has raised hand. Prabhakar, you want to speak? Go on. You can unmute yourself.
Yeah, I want to ask you, means in your previous organization, the living letter, what was the post mention as an analyst?
That's right.
No, you are submitting the CV of a Scrum Master of 3-year experience. But as a document in your previous organization, what was there in the
It was
living
it
letter?
was it was analyst, and that was also confirmed in the call by HR with me that what was your previous designation. So I said it was analyst.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So in your CV, you have mentioned CSM, right?
No, I
Certificates.
mentioned PSM. PSM.
Okay, PSM. So did you ask you for to submit a certificate?
No, no, they did not ask me. They just verified if I've done the certification, but as said, they did not ask me any
Copy for
proof
that.
proof for that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. That's all. Thank
Right.
you.
Again, Prabhakar, to add on your question, there is nothing to be in dilemma. I know that it's in your mind that in my CV, what I'm writing Scrum Master, and in my offer letter, living letter, it is something different. So when this scenario comes of checking a confirmation, when you have already cleared the first round, second round, right? And anyway, HR is in hurry to hire someone more than you, what you are looking for a job, right? So if you have proved yourself already in the interview, then that doesn't matter. That will go through. Okay, so just focus on the
Okay,
job.
thanks.
Okay, and okay, okay. So Snehal has mentioned, have you done any certification? Like I think you answered already, PSM, right? Hinal, PSM you did.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
And next I can see here, why did you change career path? So anonymous, I think we answered this question already. Okay, so again, everyone has a different region. So it totally depends on you. It's not a, I would say, passion for anyone to make a change. It's depends on what you are doing, what is need of it. Okay. What were the challenges you faced while changing career path? Again, I think we took this question already earlier. Okay, okay. How to present ourselves in virtual interview? Does the outlook personality matters here? Answer is, see, it's not, you are giving an interview, and why? To get a job. So it's not about your black color, white color, red color, purple color, but yes, you are giving interview. It's not about Scrum Master, any interview you are giving. It just, you have to be present yourself as a professional. That's it. Nothing too much worry on it. All right, and then I can see here, Sarda, you have a question. You can raise your, yes, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, Jitendra sir, I think it will be almost you answered, but just I'm trying to clarify. It is related to my profile. That's why just yeah, I can understand this analyst role, but suppose in my offer letter it is clearly mentioned module lead. I'm working in .NET technology as a module lead. It is clearly mentioned module lead. So when in interview I'm telling I'm currently working as a Scrum Master, later once I got another joining in BGP, there won't be any complexity just to that is somewhere in my mind. Yes.
Anywhere in BGB, problem only happens once you give a document where something is wrong. In your case, or in everyone case, what I say, you have to mention in your CV what Scrum Master. In your CV, you are mentioning. They will
Right.
ask previous employment document. What
Right.
document it is, you are presenting the same. Then there's not going to be any challenge, right?
Oh,
So in your case, you're not editing in your employment letter that, hey, it was module lead, and then I'm just scratching it, and then I'm making it a Scrum Master. If you are
okay.
making a crime, don't do that.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Thank you. Yeah. That's
Okay.
correct.
Your BGB or anyone's BGB happens against the documents what you have submitted for the company. Okay, so as long as you're not playing with that document, nothing to worry. Okay.
Okay. Fine. Thank you.
Right. So now we are coming towards end last couple of questions. Okay, Sikha Sharma, what are your current job responsibility? I think we took this question already earlier. Okay. All right. So yes, in an interview, what if we don't know answer of their question, right? So in spite of me answering, why not you, Hinal, answer this question? You may have gone through certain scenario that they ask and you do not have any clue or not getting how you handle it.
Correct, correct. I have faced the scenario actually when this question was asked to me when I was in face-to-face interview and I did not know the question. There was, if you have a chance, maybe if you have some knowledge around it, you might want to just make it up with whatever you know. And if
Mhm.
they are convinced, you will be through it. But if they are not, then probably that might be a point where you will have to improve.
All right. Okay. Okay, how you tackle scenario-based question, Snehal? I think you already will be preparing for it. Nothing to worry. You have to prepare on it. Amit has a question. As you saw 3 years of relevant Scrum Master experience, what was your prior IT, non-IT experience? Again, I think we answered it already. It was in non-IT. Okay. All right. So with this, we come to the conclusion, and let me take the last question. As an experienced Scrum Master, have you faced the question about your achievement or the best one? So was this kind of question asked to you, Hinal, that as a Scrum Master, whatever you have worked, what is your achievement, what you have done in the past? What
Yes,
you,
I was asked this question, and this is one of the scenario-based questions that I had prepared during the course of my interviews.
and what was your answer?
So the answer to this particular question was to, having, so as a Scrum Master, my role is to facilitate seamless collaboration within the teams to ensure that the team is cross-functional. So whatever my particular role as a Scrum Master requires, I will have to showcase that I have been able to achieve this. I, would encourage people to talk on the call. If someone is quiet, maybe we not with the ability to just put them on the spot, but to encourage them to speak up. So these kind of answers is what they expect from you. uh,
open result.
Yeah, continue. Go on. Go
yeah,
on.
so you could say that my achievement as a Scrum Master was the whatever overlap we used to have between the offshore and onshore team, we would make the best use of it to get the information that is required during any DSUs. So the other approach could be like, you can talk about what are your essential responsibilities, what were your essential responsibilities as the Scrum Master, and how you did the best to get those worked out. For example, as I mentioned, you want to make a team self-organized and you have people on the call who are not speaking up. So you have to find ways and strategies around how to keep the team engaged, how to let each and everybody on the team speak up. So these are some of the instances you can give. You can relate to any of the examples. You can relate to examples like, you did, this was the scenario and this is the approach you followed and this is what the result was.
All right. So with this, we'll conclude to the last question. The last question, what I'm taking it from Soumya. Soumya, you can unmute yourself.
So, Hinal, as you mentioned earlier that you had worked with the stakeholders
Mhm.
in your last company. So does this experience help you to play the role of a Scrum Master in your new company?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Because we will be dealing with the stakeholders. We have to be transparent in providing them the enough information that they require. So we will be working hand in hand with the stakeholders.
Okay.
Yeah. They will
All,
approach you if you are hired as a Scrum Master. You might be approached by a stakeholder stating, what are the dependencies for your team? What are the risks you are mitigating? What are,
Mhm.
I mean, if you are working on some, suppose any timelines, if they
Mhm.
might come with the question that are these timelines realistic, or you foresee any changes to it? So these will be something that you'll be closely working with the stakeholders.
Okay. And in your new role, did you interact with them directly?
Yes, actually, they
Yes.
started reaching out, and the approach. I mean, I would say if you are clear and concise, if they think they can rely upon you for any information, then you will be the first person approached by them for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I'm just asking
product
because
owner, product
yeah.
owner should be the first point of contact, but Scrum Master may also be depending on their comfort level. If they are
Okay.
deriving that information uh, like promptly from you, then you might be the first point of contact for them. So it completely depends on organization again.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I'm asking just because it has been asked for me to in an interview question,
Okay,
and
sure, sure.
that's all. It's okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
all right. So that's all for today. So I hope you all got some vitamin M. Vitamin M is what? Motivation, right? So as Hinal rightly said initially, that it's all about how much you are committed, how much you are able to keep yourself motivated throughout this journey. And that's what it takes to get the result. And for me, I would say this is the most proud moment, because whatever I do, I am here to make sure that yes, people who are in this journey, they're able to make this impact, able to make the transition, right? So yes, I eagerly wait for this kind of session. And how many of you want to be on the same spot as Hinal is here next month? If you're someone who is really committed, want to make it, type what me in the chat box, that yes, I want to make this transition. I'm sure you are, but you have to do what? You already got some uh, knowledge, you got some guidance, some roadmap as well. This is what you have to do. Okay. So, all right. So that's all for today. Thank you everyone for joining. And Hinal, again, thank you once again for being here. And certainly in future as well, we'll be we'll asking you to join certain session to share your knowledge, your insight here.
Definitely, I'll be happy to do that, Jitendra. And I wish good luck to all the aspiring Scrum Masters. Just sail through and you'll be there for sure.
All right. Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.